Well, my good friends, if you have been wondering how you can make some good money in real estate with no money or very little money, welcome. You have come at the right place where we talk about real estate. And in today's video, this video is part 2 of a video that we did last week. And within this video is basically Project 34. And Project 34 is a deal that we looked in last week, and we said it's an area that's called Vanderbilt Park. And for context, I'll encourage you to go and watch that video. But I'm just going to give you a little bit of a summary and how we have solved for this deal. I think it's a good deal. And within this video, we're going to talk about the solution of this deal. How did we do it? And as you can see, basically, we did go ahead with the project. We looked at it and we said it's a good project. But today's video, we made the call. It's a good deal, but how are we going to do it? So welcome. My name is TJ. I'm always doing deals in the real estate space, from residential to commercial. I really like residential because a lot of people can play into that space. You can make some moolah in it. And you can lose some money as well, right? If you just don't know what you're doing. But I want to reinforce on this Project 34 in Vanderbilt Park. It's a smaller house, around about a 3-bedroom, and we're going to do a very short walkthrough of the property. And as we do that right now, bingo, my good friends. So we are back, and basically you have seen what this property looks like. We did say that it's in a good area. There was few opportunities that I would like to focus on, and then we can solution this, the issues that we saw. The opportunities that we saw on this particular property is that it is in a good area. So tick, I like it. It's safe. My money is safe in that neighborhood. So it's a good investment to be in. We can see over the years from the data that we were able to pull from different reports that area is incrementing, or it is increasing in appreciation. So the value of the property is holding, and it's not as fast as it did in the earlier years, where we saw on my first video where somebody actually just bought the property. A few years later they sold it for the double price. And that's the whole concept of buying real estate and wait. and you make your money. So it is what it is. You miss the opportunity, you miss the opportunity. But here is opportunity number one. Opportunity number two is that I realized as I was walking out or understanding the issues on the property, the tenant is actually a family, a mother, father, and kids. And after meeting them, my heart sank. I wanted to help them. And that's the other opportunity that I saw. I didn't see it as a problem. The other person was actually seeing it as a problem, the one I'm buying from. But I've seen it as an opportunity, and that's just come from my heart that God has given unto me to help other people. So where I can help people. So that's number two. Number three is that I am good at due diligence, and I've got a good team behind me, people that understand legal, people that are understanding how to look deeper into individuals, validate information, and I was able to get the necessary information from these tenants and for us to do the due diligence, and we were comfortable with the due diligence. We were comfortable with where their money was coming from. So is it legit that it's coming? And the answer is yes, it is legit. Now, it then comes back to the question to say, we understood why they couldn't buy, and we understood when the money is coming. So for that reason, this is a good deal to buy. Don't you say so? Or don't you agree with me? Okay, let me know in the comments if I am making the wrong decision. Remember, we bought it for 575. That's the price that we eventually settled on. We could have bought it for 400 a few years ago, but I was just focused on the deal, so I missed out. I missed out on a good 200,000 that I could have banked for me and my family, but that's what it is. I missed out, right? So I can't cry over spilled milk. It's gone, right? Let's focus on what we can today. Some of the issues is the seller wanted to sell as soon as possible. I know this individual, and I'll tell you how I solutioned that just now. What about the existing verbal agreement that they had? I've got a solution for you, and I'll tell you right now. And obviously the deadlock that they had between the two of them. Right, so this video is about focusing on the solutions. Solution. I always tell people in real estate, if you can solve problems, you are good to go. And if you can think a little bit creative around issues, don't get stuck with the tradition, you will be able to make some good money. So how did I do it? Drum roll! I like that drum. Come on! There we go. So this is how we solutioned the problems. We understood the seller because it's someone that we had met, someone that we have done deals before. They understand me. At first, when this property came through, I thought, let me sell it to somebody else. And I looked at it in different ways. And actually, I got a few people that were keen to buy it. But when it came to the tenant, they got stuck. They're like, nah, TJ, I don't want to do this. What if this person then doesn't move out? What if this person doesn't buy my property? Lots of issues. I then looked at the property in a different lens. So I was like, wait, yours TJ might just be able to do this deal, but how can he do this deal? What I then went on to do is that I went to the seller and I said, seller, you know me very well. What I want us to do is I want us to do pre-agreements before buying the property because I am going to take on this property. My first step that I did is that I went to my banker and I asked my banker, can I qualify for 575? Some of you are like, but TJ, you qualify for more, TJ. Why did you even have to go and ask them? My good friends, credit is an interesting thing. Today you qualify for something else, tomorrow the bank says no to you, right? So it's always good to ask so that they can do the necessary checks and then they'll tell you, yes, you're good to go. I called in my banker at my primary bank and I said to them, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm buying a property for 575. How much money can you be able to give me? And they then said to me, Mr. Jack, if you're buying it on your holding company, we will gladly give you 100% on it. Whoa, okay, all right, great. all right, right, 575. Right, so I've got the money from my bank. I then went on to the seller and I said to him, I've got a few concerns. I am able to buy the property, and the only thing that I need to do here is to pay for transfers so that I can own the property. But I want to do a pre-agreement with the tenant before I buy the property. And the pre-agreement is, let us agree on a selling price. Okay? And he says to me, well, TJ, well, we can't exactly do that because I don't know. I don't know how much they qualify. And I said, no, it's not about how much they qualify. It's about the commitment that you had given them to say that they're going to buy the property. And all I'm now doing is I'm raising the flag to say, if I am committed to sell the property to you in 2 years' time, in 1 year's time, in 3 years' time, whatever the time period, I want the price to be written down today. And besides, I know how much money is coming through to them, because that money, we have done some due diligence. I looked at the value of the property, and then I went and then I said to my seller selling to me, and I said, yes, I'm going to buy the property at 575 to you, but I would like to do a pre-agreement with the tenant, and you are the witness because you're the current landlord. So I can't sell what I don't own, right? And we sat down with my attorney after we looked at all the due diligence and the supporting documents, and my attorney says, yes, we can be able to do this. We went through to my attorney. So my attorney sitting there, the family sitting there, I'm sitting here, and the other person sitting there, and we did what is called a tripartite agreement. So basically all parties are involved here. And the first step is that he is selling the property to me at 575. So it's an open book, right? And then I then say to them, look, my property I think is going to be worth around about R1 million. But if you're going to be buying this, let's say in 2 years' time, or maybe let's say 3 years' time, how long do you think you're going to be buying this property? And let's say hypothetically they said 2 years. Hypothetically, ne? We're not saying that's what they say. We're just saying hypothetically. Let's say they say hypothetically, they say 2 years, and then I said, okay, I am going to sell the property for 900 to you at that time. But today you're going to continue paying me rent on 5,000, like what you have just been paying these other people. You're going to continue paying for rates and taxes like you have always been doing. The only thing that is changing here is how you are going to get ownership. They love me. Fireworks everywhere. Emotions everywhere. They were in love with me when they read the contracts, when the attorney was explaining this. And then I could see at the corner of my eye that I think the buyer, the seller, is like, why didn't I do this? But anyway, we had signed an agreement that what we are going to be talking about in here is what's going to go. Right. So we have agreed already. Because there's an offer to purchase that I had already signed to him. So he can't reverse on me. Right? And I had already engaged him before, so he can't reverse. And he didn't know what was under my sleeve. Oh, man. I told you. Real estate is all about finding solutions. Finding solutions. So let's go back. Issue number one is that the seller wants to sell as soon as possible. So I've got the bank in my back. They said they can give me 575. Okay. On that 575, I now need transfer fees of around about 17,000. So the money that I'm putting on the deal here is around about 17,000 only. That's all I'm putting in. No money down deal, or very little money on a deal. And now my 575, so basically I'm going to get this 500 prime minus half a base, and I am shy maybe it's around about 5,000 with some change, and basically that's what I'm going to do. With the 5,000 that they're going to be paying, I am going to take on this year, which is around about 3 to 4 months of the year, until we finish at the time when we're doing the contracts. And the following year, I have a 10% increment on the rent. So they're going to be paying me another 5,500, and that 5,500 is literally going to go and pay the bank. And I'll have a bit of a profit of around about 200 or 300, I think. Right. That's not where the profit is. The profit is on the flipping. This is a flipping deal. So I've bought a property. I already have the buyer on this side. And my good friends, that is how I have done this flip. Let's go back to the issues. Issues number one is that the seller wants to sell as soon as possible. I have satisfied that because the bank is giving me some money so we can continue with the transfer. Good? Good. Number two is that there was an existing verbal contract. I turned it into a written contract so that there's no confusion. Alright? And I spent some money on that contract. I paid for the contract. My attorney gave me a good rate because I'm always going to her all the time. So she gave me a good rate. Okay? And she's doing the transfer. Actually, what eventually happened was, on the transfer, she took transfer and she says, TJ, because I did your transfer on this contract here, you don't have to pay me nothing. Huh? Wow! My good friends. It's good to have good friends in the industry. The deadlock, the other third issue, which was the deadlock of the tenant and the landlord, gone. And yours truly have solutioned this problem. So, was this a good deal? Well, as it stands right now, it is a good deal. We eventually bought this property, and now we are waiting for the time which this tenant can be able to perform. TJ, what if they don't perform? What is the worst case scenario? Worst case scenario is that we can be able to sell it onto open market. I'm actually thinking that might be a great idea because already properties in the area are selling anything between $1 million to around about $1.3 million. So I think at the time, hypothetically speaking, that they have given 2 years, I am of the view that in 2 years' time, the value of the property would have even surpassed the 900 that we're selling to them. So I'll be able to make some more moolah. But this is just a deal that I did in a week's, 2 days work, future money coming in, good asset on my balance sheet for today. The bank loves me and I don't have to be greedy. Sometimes it's about doing what's right. So my good friends, I'm hoping that you've gained some value today on how you can do these deals. And if it's complicated, don't worry. Go back and play the video again. But this time round, don't just play this video. Go back to the other video, the first video that we did, and watch that one, part one, and watch this part two together, and hopefully it can be able to make some good sense to you. If it's not going to be making sense to you, well, maybe real estate is not for you. But maybe you need some training, some coaching. There might be information that's missing, and we can be able to help you as well. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're just talking about how did I do this deal. The third video that I'm going to do on this one is obviously waiting for the tenant to perform, and we can see the money in the bank account. The proof is always in the pudding, isn't it? It is I, TJ. It is great hanging out with you. And until we see each other again right here on the next video at the TJ Tribe, it is always a